I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, August the 28th, where the Mexico trade deal trumped the bearish cattle on feed placements that everybody really thought were going to hit hard starting out this week. But I tell you what, our great president, Donald J. Trump, just brokered a deal with the country of Mexico to fix NAFTA and make things right to try to catch up in some of these trade imbalances, and got the deal done. And it's really going to help our trade with Mexico and everything, but it's going to maintain them as a big customer of our ag products. It's going to maintain zero tariffs on ag products. It's going to enhance information exchange and cooperation on ag biotechnology. It's going to do a lot with the auto industry and trade there, and just the whole spirit of the deal is going to help with our trade with one of our top two customers in beef products right there. And I tell you what, he never gets enough credit for the things he does right. He always gets too much flack for the other things that are going on with him. But you know, I tell you what, the guy is not perfect, and he never ran on that platform of being a perfect guy. He's been a billionaire most of his life. How would the rest of us have lived their lives if we were that way? I tell you, he does have conviction. He's never taken a drink of alcohol in his life, and he's been to a hell of a lot of good cocktail parties. So I think maybe we need to just give him a break and appreciate the things that he's doing for us. I know that the business people, the people that are investing, you know, the stock market was up big on Monday. NASDAQ and S&P set all-time records. Your ag products, for the most part, were up big. You know, give him a break. He's a businessman. Let's look at the board for Monday. October live cattle up $2.60 to end the day at 109.30. August spot live cattle up $1.95 to end the day at 108.20. And that's still about 70-80 cents there off of what the average was of last week's trade, but catching up pretty nice. October feeder cattle up $3.35 to end the day at 150.07. August up 102 at 150.22. Your lean hogs were up the limit on nearby. That's really going to put a boost in the hog market as we rely on trade, especially with Canada too. But we're hoping that Canada kind of comes along and follows the suit that Mexico played at fixing this NAFTA deal, making it fair for everybody. We can quit threatening with all these tariffs and different things that are going on. I'm asking my cowboy friends up there in Canada, twist old Trudeau's ear there and make him kind of come to his milk and get on board with this deal to fix NAFTA. That's the big deal we need. But the hog industry has been suffering with depressed prices, both on dressed hogs and on the product itself too. But and I tell you what, that's one thing that's been making these packers so greedy in the cattle deal, hard to trade with, and collecting maybe nearly $300 a head on their cattle. They're trying to make up for losses on the hog sector, as about all of them are involved in the hogs pretty deep too. But let's look at the weighted average on last week's fat cattle trade on 95,200 head in the 5-area feeding region. Your live sales are from 108 to 109.5. Very little cleanup trade on Friday. We've done a lot of trade on Wednesday and Thursday, but your live steer weighted average was 109.02. That was 89 cents lower than the weighted average from the previous week. Your dress trade from mostly 173 to 174, but of course there's always some off sales there, and your weighted average on dress steers was 172.78, down 32 cents compared to the previous week's weighted average. Box beef cutout values for the average of last week's trade, $213.86 on choice cuts. That was $4.16 higher than the previous week's weighted average. Select cuts $203.63, up $2.85. Now we've got a choice select spread of $2 or $10.23. But that's just goes to show you that we're having more interest in some of your higher dollar rib cuts, and for the fall grilling season. It's going to be football time here before long, and tailgating and everything that goes with that, and it's going to be a good deal. But your nationwide fat cattle trade had 110,000 head on it, and 15.3% of those for 15 to 30 day delivery, so that they're trying to crank that up a little bit. You got to watch that. They start selling a lot of cattle for 2 to 4 weeks out, and that just sets the market up. But this week they're going to be buying for a short kill week with Labor Day next Monday, and we're kind of be on a tough trade week this week. But just like this thing has been so volatile, who would have seen this deal with Mexico that Trump's got done, and who knew that it was going to give all your ag markets such a big shot of B12 right in the arm? But it really saved us from that cattle on feed report. Nobody's even remembering what happened on the cattle on feed report now. They do remember that the on feed inventories were only 0.2% of the percentage point there. So it was a good deal that we got that out of the way. But let's look at your feeder markets. Real-time index on Beef Market Central ended the day on Monday at 149.61. That was down 50 cents from the end of last week. And we just didn't have any sales really setting things on fire that much. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma National Stockyards had a lighter run, 5,400 head there. Feeders unevenly steady to $3 lower. Calves steady to $2 higher. Joplin Regional Stockyard, 6,200 head there. Calves were selling steady to $2 lower. Spots as much as $5 lower on the heifer calves, and had a few yearlings there, kind of steady to firm on the yearlings. But notice the sale is kind of a big special on Tuesday. Fredonia Livestock Auction in Fredonia, Kansas, having their 11th anniversary special, and you think there's been a sale in Fredonia longer than that, but this is 11th year anniversary of Don and Brad Hahn taking over the ownership there. They're going to have a big customer appreciation deal there. They've got about 3,000 head on offer with several long strings. Those of you that have a National Beef Wire screen or access to one, they will be lighting that screen up with big long strings of cattle. I'm sure they'll bring top price. Let's look at a couple of individual quotes. Martin Livestock Auction in Martin, South Dakota. May not have ever talked about them before, but 132 head of good red steers weighing 959 pounds at 147.25. Sylvan Sales Commission in Sylvan Grove, Kansas, a little sale with the big prices. Had a load of 730 pound steers, bring 156.50. That's your feeder flash for Tuesday.